Ramadan. Yeah? So I'm going to be using a board here so that everyone's concentration is, so make sure you can see the board. Okay, so fasting, Ramadan. So the first thing about fasting in Ramadan is, I'll ask you this question. Why is fasting good for us? Why is fasting good for us? Who knows? So I'm going to brainstorm this. Makes you muttaqi, mashallah. You can't become muttaqi besides fasting. Huh? Good answer. Very good answer. Yeah. So muttaqi, write that down. Makes you muttaqi. What does muttaqi mean? What does God-fearing mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Good, so that's getting better now. The whole point of taqwa means that you're always aware Allah is watching. In your day, at night, whatever action you do, whatever you look at, whatever you listen to, whatever you eat, whoever you speak to, you're always wondering, have I done the right thing? That is what muttaqi means. Whenever Allah in the Quran talks about muttaqi, He's talking about the person who is always thinking, am I doing the right thing? This is why it's very important. When you fast, you become so careful of what you put in your mouth. Even in wudu, you see some people doing their wudu. Put the water in. And they're careful they don't gargle it, because they think that the water might go down their throats. Once I saw a person, after he did wudu, he got a towel, he's wiping his tongue. I said, what are you doing? Goes, I don't want any water to go down my throat. No, that's okay. That's haraj, that's difficulty. Allah will not burden you because of that. Yeah. So, muttaqi. When you fast, a person becomes more closer to Allah because he begins to question his own actions. Am I doing it correctly? Is Allah happy with this? Ramadan is, I always call this crash course for taqwa. Yeah, it's like a 1 month course. If you do this 1 month course, you're going to get close to Allah. If you do it correctly though. Imagine, for example, someone, driving instructor, said to you, if you learn driving with me for 1 month, guarantee you the next day you can pass your exam. Would you go with him? Of course, you're going to say, this guy, if he can guarantee me, why not? But if you book that course and you only attend 1 day a week or one every 2 weeks, you're not going to benefit from that course. So this is why the first thing we have to understand is about fasting is, what is fasting in Ramadan? Fasting in Ramadan is 3 things, okay? There's 3 things when it comes to fasting in Ramadan. Number 1, eating. You are not allowed to eat. Number 2, drinking. And number 3 is intimacy. Yeah, so intimacy. So we're going to be focusing on these 2. All right? Eating and drinking. What does eating and drinking mean? Eating and drinking basically means in your body you have, so imagine for example this is supposed to be some art. Yeah? Supposed to be his arms. Okay. So here he has mouth, nose, and all of that goes down to stomach. Yeah? And number 2, back side. Yeah? Everyone knows where that is? I'll make an arrow there. Yeah? These are the 2 places, or the 3 places, 1, 2, and 3 we'll call them. If anything goes inside of this down, or the back side, your fast breaks. Anything. So long as it is what we call it a perceptible particle. Perceptible particle means something that you can see. Yeah, something you can see and touch. If that goes down your throat, your fast breaks. But let me ask you a question. Give me some things that can go down your throat or go down your nose that will break your fast. Kebab. Well done. Are you hungry? Might as well be honest in the mosque. No point lying. What else goes down your throat and down your nose? Water. Water breaks your fast. Anything else? Any drink? Okay. I think you're thirsty as well, brother, yeah? And I will drink some water because you said water. Anything else? No? Okay. Smoke. Some people smoke, yeah? Smoke. So if you inhale smoke, some people smoke cigarettes. If you inhale that, your fast breaks. Medicines, asthma inhaler. Anyone use asthma inhaler? Yeah. So if you use an asthma inhaler when you're fasting, something's going down your throat, fast breaks. Yeah. Okay. Asthma inhaler. Anything else? Okay. So look, remember, it has to go down your throat. So if it doesn't go down your throat, then your fast doesn't break. So for example, like you might use a miswak stick. Miswak stick, yeah? Use miswak stick, clean your teeth. I mean, as long as you don't go a bit crazy and start putting the miswak stick, start scratching your stomach or something with it. Yeah, but normally you clean your teeth, don't you? And that's it. Khalas, finished. Teeth done. Wash your mouth out. Finished. So as long as it doesn't go down the throat, your fast does not break. Okay, so these are basically what you have to understand about the things that will break your fast. Anyone got any questions on this? Yeah. Your own saliva, anything that's inside your body and it doesn't come out, it's okay to swallow it back. Yeah? That's okay then. So same with the snot, for example, if you're like a gymnast, Olympics, you can take the snot and bring it back all the way back in. Yeah, don't do that, but if it comes out your body and then you put it back in, your fast breaks. So you take your saliva out and then you put it back in, fast breaks. If it's in your mouth, it doesn't break, yeah. Okay, good question now. Here's where the tough questions are coming, yeah? So let's use another color here. So, what about something which goes into your mouth, like mouthwash? Yeah, should we start with mouthwash? Mouthwash. Okay. Mouthwash. Do people swallow mouthwash? No. If you fear that I am going to swallow my mouthwash, then the scholars say it is makruh to use mouthwash. If you're scared that my mouthwash is going to go down my throat, then it's makruh. But if you put mouthwash in your mouth, spit it out, wash your mouth out with water, fine. Fast does not break. Yeah. Taste doesn't matter. The reason why they say taste doesn't matter is because, you know, when you use miswak, the Prophet used to miswak in fasting. Miswak has a taste, doesn't it? So they say it's okay. Yeah, as long as perceptible particles don't go down your throat. Same with seawater. If you got seawater and you put seawater, have you ever put seawater in your mouth? And you taste it. Even though you don't swallow it, you can taste it, can't you? You feel the saltiness. So your fast doesn't break. Remember, the scholars say as long as you don't fear something is going to go down your throat, yeah, that will break your fast. This is why the question a lot of people ask me, what do you say about using toothpaste? Yeah, I would say this to people. Look, I would say this. Ideally, try to use miswak. But if you have to use toothbrush, use a little bit. Don't use too much. Wash your mouth out, and then just be very careful it doesn't go down your throat. Spit it out, wash your mouth out after you've used it. Khalas. You'll be fine, inshallah. Yeah? Because sometimes, you go to work and you have to speak to clients or customers, and then they smell your breath, and then, mashallah. Yeah? Eid starts early. So mouthwash, everyone understand this? Any other question? Yeah. Vaseline, as long as you don't swallow it. You put it in your lips, yeah? If you put Vaseline on your lips, yeah, or if oil on your lips, like olive oil or whatever oil, again, perceptible particles don't go down the throat. But as long as it's just a little bit you put on, that's okay. It won't break your fast. But if perceptible particles, bits, you swallow bits of it, fast breaks. Okay, so as long as you don't, yeah, do that like an asthma inhaler, then it's okay. So sometimes in houses you might have in the toilet automatic air freshener, yeah, and it releases, yeah, a burst of spray. That's fine. Or like, for example, sometimes you're cooking food and steam comes in your face. Might be making barbecue, smoke comes in your face. That's okay. That doesn't break your fast. But if you do this, fast breaks. Because you're deliberately putting something into your body. Sometimes you're walking down the road, you're standing waiting for the bus, and car fumes. Yeah, might go. That doesn't break your fast. As long as you don't put your mouth by the exhaust pipe and inhale. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes, brother. Very good. So, okay, remember we said these three, number 1, 2, and 3. Any other part of your body, your fast doesn't break. Yeah? Even eardrops. Yeah? Even, you see, in the past, let me explain a deep masala here. So listen carefully, yeah? You know, long time ago, let me draw a timeline. This makes it easy to follow. This is a timeline, okay. This is at the time, the early years. Yeah? We call this the years of Sahaba, Tabi'in, Taba Tabi'in. This is where we are. Yeah? So this, let's say for example, this is 2024. And this is 1,400 years ago. Yeah, so what year was that? 600, 700, yeah? About 700? So in the olden days, the Prophet ﷺ has not mentioned anything about putting something in your eye and fast breaking. And he never mentioned anything about putting drops in your ears. Maybe no one asked him that question. Or maybe just didn't reach us. But later scholars, when they came, they asked this question. In their days, they thought, you know, the ears, there was a gap, there was a channel between the ear to the throat. So they used to say, if you put oil in your ears, your fast breaks. Yeah? Then later on, when modern medicine came, and people were able to see inside the ear, and they saw there's an eardrum, it's blocked. They said they altered the fatwa, they changed the fatwa. They say they made an error on this particular masala. So it's okay, human beings, because the Prophet ﷺ didn't say it. Only the Prophet ﷺ is free of mistakes. Everyone that comes after him. So this is why, you know, Mufti Taqi Usmani, his brother Mufti Rafi Usmani has a book where he has actually mentioned this whole, what I just mentioned to you now. He says that today we now have the fatwa, which is eardrops do not break your fast at all unless you have a tear in your eardrum. If it's a torn eardrum and you put drops, and then clearly there's a very strong possibility of it going down, then it breaks. Make sense? And eye drops, there was a person who came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, is it okay if I use kuhul? You know kuhul is? Surma, you know surma. Antimony, yeah? Put it in your eye and then... Now, they used that in Ramadan and it was fine. So if they're allowed to use that in today's times, eye drops is no different from this. Even if you taste something in your throat, it doesn't matter because it has to go through 1, 2. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, good question. Everyone understand the eye one, the ear one? All right, next one. What about skin now? If you were to, some people, they want to stop smoking, so they try to use nicotine patches, yeah? So these nicotine patches, they release into the skin and then into the blood, yeah, chemicals that help a person to control. So because it's not going through 1, 2, or 3, the fast doesn't break. Does everyone understand this? Okay, now the next question you're going to ask is what? Injections, yeah? Now, injections, there's 2 types of injections that people normally have. One is in your muscle, yeah? Sometimes people have diabetes, they do it in their thigh or they do it in their belly. Goes through the muscle, doesn't it? Goes through the skin, yeah? But it doesn't go through the veins directly. Okay, so it goes through the skin, doesn't go into the veins. Everyone agrees this does not break your fast. Yeah, it does not break your fast because it's not going through 1, 2, or 3. What about intravenous, through your veins, when you have injection into your veins and you have some medicine put into your veins? What about, does this break your fast? Some people have, I don't know, maybe some need and they have to take some injection or something. Yeah, they have to go to the doctors. There's 2 opinions in this amongst the scholars. One opinion is it breaks your fast, and the other opinion is it doesn't break your fast. Which opinion should we take? So I would say this, my teacher would say, if the injection is clearly giving strength to your body, like glucose or something like that, that breaks your fast. If it's not giving strength to your body, it's just some medicinal thing that you require regularly, then it doesn't break your fast. Everyone understand this? Okay. Next question. Yeah. Good. Good question. Look, so let's go back to this then. Remember we said about what the whole purpose of Ramadan is? The whole purpose of Ramadan is that you want to be aware of the laws of Allah around you. So we know Allah has told us we can't eat, can't drink and have intimacy in Ramadan. Those are three things definitely. But in Islam, sometimes something that leads up to these things, like borderlines with this, is also considered to be banned as well. But you can't call it banned, you have to call it makruh. Does that make sense? Yeah, so this is why the scholars say, Quran and the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ has not said using mouthwash breaks your fast. But because if 1,000 people, you gave them some mouthwash and you told them go and wash your mouth, how many of them would accidentally swallow it? That's the issue. So this is why you be careful, put it in your mouth. If you have to wash your mouth out, wash your mouth. That's it. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. Anything else on this? Alas, everyone happy with, yeah? If your mouth bleeds, good question. If your mouth bleeds and you swallow it, if it's a small amount of blood which you can't really tell, it's okay. But if it's a large amount that you can clearly tell there's a mouth bleed in your mouth, then you swallow it, your fast will break. Everyone understand this? Okay. Let's move on to the next. I say now, you guys have all become muftis now. Yeah? Right, next. Okay, so now we're going to come back to this, okay? Just keep this in your mind, yeah? Even when sleeping, I explain. Oh, then it's not your fault. If you're sleeping, whatever happens when you're sleeping, it's not your fault. Except if you fart. Then it is your fault. Yeah? So, and I'll tell you why. The Prophet ﷺ said, the pen has been uplifted from 3 people. And one of the 3 people, he said, is a sleeping person until he wakes up. Yeah, you're not in control. Yeah. All right. Now, let's talk about the fasting time now. Right. So, this is the clock. Let's say, for example, Fajr is at 4 a.m. For example, to make it easy for people. And let's say Maghrib is going to be at all the way 6 p.m. Hey, how many hours is that? 14 hours, yeah? Okay, so this 14 hours fast that you do, 14 hours fast, this is where the fast has to start from. You are not allowed to eat anything from 4 a.m. all the way up to 6. Not allowed to eat anything at all. No drink. Sometimes someone becomes a Muslim. Once this guy became a Muslim, he was my dad's friend. And he phoned me and he goes, his name was Clive. He goes, I said, Uncle Clive, you okay? He goes, yeah. He goes, can I eat an apple when I'm fasting? And he's eating an apple. Is it okay to eat apple? I go, no, you can't eat apple. He goes, not even apple. Because some people think, in some religions, when they say fast, they don't do a fast like us. They stay away from just meat. A fast of meat or a fast of vegetables. They do certain types of fast. Our fast is nothing at all goes in the 3. Nothing at all. Yeah? So, this time before Fajr, let's put that time there. This time is called Sahri time, Suhoor time. Yeah? Sahri. This is the time, it's recommended, the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever eats at this time will get barakah. Yeah? All of us know. Put your hand up if you ever missed your Sahri. Did you have a nice day after that? Moody, innit? Moody, thirsty, can't wait, keep looking at the time. Yeah? Especially if you're at work. So Sehri time is a barakah time. Try to get up for Sehri if you can. Try your best. If your family gets up, tell your family, wake me up. If you have a friend, tell him, ring me. Put your alarm on, whatever you can. And just even if you have to drink 1 cup of water or 1 date, even that's good. Yeah. So now, when you make intention for fast, you're allowed to make an intention all the way from Maghrib time, all the way, next day, all the way to about 11 o'clock. Yeah? How many hours is that? 6 p.m. all the way till 6 p.m. and then add 5 hours onto that. 12 plus 5, 17, yeah? 17 hours you have to make your mind up if you're going to fast tomorrow. How many hours? Is that enough time? Let me give us examples. Let me ask you a question now. I've got a friend called Zaid. Zaid one day woke up at 9 a.m. in the morning and his friend texted him and said, today's Ramadan. And he hasn't eaten anything. Can he fast? Why can he fast? Can't? Okay, so your brother is saying you have to make intention, he can't. My brother is saying yes. What time does he have until to make intention? 11 o'clock in the morning, innit? 11 in the morning. Does that make sense? You have 11 in the morning to make your intention. Yeah. Now you know that? It's easy, isn't it? Yeah. So you have all the way up to 11. And let me tell you why this is important. Because there's lots of people who might miss Sehri. Or they might not know Ramadan started yet. And they wake up in the morning. As long as they haven't eaten anything, they can make intention for fasting Ramadan. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Now, this intention that you have, you don't have to say anything at all. All you have to do is you have to, in your mind, know that you're going to fast the next day or that day. Does that make sense? Like if someone comes to you and says to you, brother, are you fasting today? You go, yeah, I'm fasting today. That means you got intention of fasting. That's enough. On timetable, sometimes they have the du'as in it. Nawaitu as-sawm li ghadin or nawaitu an asuma li ghadin. Yeah, that's good. If you want to say it, it's fine, but it's not necessary. Yeah. 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 Okay, good question. So look, remember we said fast starts at 4 a.m., isn't it? So that means the last thing that you swallow has to be 4 a.m. Yeah, the last thing that you swallow has to be 4 a.m. Everyone got this? Okay, now, yeah. Swallow it. Swallow it, put it down. If you're drinking, like for example, a can of, I don't know, drink. You're drinking. As soon as you hear the azan or as soon as you know the time, put it down, swallow whatever's in your mouth. Stop. Yeah, don't say, oh, I've got to finish this though. No, you can't finish it. I have to stop. Yeah. No. Azan starting means the time has started. Maybe the muazzin is going to start 5 minutes azan. Very slow azan, doesn't matter. Everyone got this? Yeah. Sehri, technically, they call it the last sixth of the night. Yeah, so you go from Maghrib all the way till 4 a.m., which is here is 10 hours, divided by 6, and the last 6 is called Sehri. The last sixth. If you can't get up for Sehri, don't worry, you're not sinful at all. You can actually eat after Taraweeh. Yeah? Some people, if they've got to go work in the morning, they find it hard, his sleep pattern gets messed up. That's fine. He said, now let me give you a tip here. You know the food, try to speak to your doctor or a nutritionist, what are the best foods to eat to help you stay less hungry throughout the day. So there's certain types of food that will make you more hungry in the day. Yeah, like for example, sugary foods. Yeah, sugary foods and these kind of things, rice and roti and these kind of things can make you very hungry in the day. But what you want to do is you want to find that kind of food which is going to allow you to have the, I'll tell you what I do. You know what I eat? Oats, 1 toast, boiled egg. Yeah, toast, and I put some nuts in there, and I put some. Yeah, I just go on, you just go on YouTube or something. Yeah, on social media, you find people who are doing suhoor tips. That's the best thing. You can have a nice, and alhamdulillah, our fasts are now easy this year compared to, remember, like a few years ago. Massive 18, 19-hour fast that we used to have. This year, mashallah, it's become very easy. Yeah. So I would say just be careful with what you put in your body, because the whole point of fasting is to become close to Allah, isn't it? If you're going to eat food that is going to affect your heart, affect your diabetes, it's going to affect your liver, it's going to affect all the other parts of your body, then you're not really doing much for yourself in Ramadan. To control your diet, control. In fact, studies show, unfortunately, many Muslims actually eat more unhealthy food in Ramadan than outside of Ramadan. Yeah, so if your mom's going to start making samosas and pakoras, say, Mom, look, mashallah, jazakallah for all the work you do for us. Just give me some nice healthy food, that's it. Yeah, and that's honestly going to help you later on in your life. Because you want, remember, look, when you eat healthy, you feel energy and you want to worship Allah more. Soon as you eat unhealthy, Taraweeh, when is he going to finish? And then the burp starts, yeah, and then your stomach starts rumbling, and then, it's not very nice. Okay, everyone understand this? Now look, yeah. Yeah. The reason I say 11 is easy for everyone to know. Technically, the time is this. Let me tell you what the time is. The time is what they call half day. Half day is you take the day from Fajr time all the way up to Maghrib time. You split it in half. Wherever that hits, roughly it's about 11:25, 11:35, something like that. If you stick to 11, it's an easy number to follow, then you'll be safe. Now, okay, I'm going to got a question for you now. If a person eats at 4:01, what happens to their fast? Breaks, yeah? Okay. If a person eats at 5:59, what happens? Fast breaks. Now, you see, the reason is because obeying Allah is greater than everything. Yeah, someone might say, but why do I have to pray 5 times salat? Why can't I pray 4? Nice, even number. No, because Allah has told you 5. And therefore, obeying Allah is more important than anything else. It's not about how you do it, it's about listening to Allah. That's the most important thing we have to understand. Yeah, Allah has created the whole universe. He doesn't need us. He doesn't need our worship. But that shows that we are listening to Allah Ta'ala. Whatever He says, sami'na wa ata'na. You listen and we obey. Now look. If a person eats or drinks and he forgot this was Ramadan, totally forgot. Has it ever happened to you? You forgot it was Ramadan and you got a normal routine. You went to the kitchen, you opened the fridge and you got the nice juice out and you put it in the cup and you closed it, you sat down and you start drinking the juice, and then someone said, you're fasting, it's Ramadan. Forget. If you forget it was Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ said, your fast hasn't broken because you forgot. It's as though Allah let you break your fast. So forgetfulness is an excuse that your fast will not break. Does that make sense? But technically, anything that goes down your throat will break your fast. That's the one exemption that we have. Only if you forgot it was Ramadan. But if anything goes down your throat accidentally, like at 4:01, you accidentally ate something, or 5:59, you accidentally ate something, you thought the fast is broken. Or for example, you're gargling water, and your friend came from behind and said, MashaAllah, Ramadan Mubarak, hit your back, and then you swallowed the water. Yeah? So that will break your fast. Does everyone understand this? Okay, now I want to talk to you about 2 types of people. Number 1, I'm going to call these 2 special people. Yeah, special people. Number 1, someone who is ill. Number 2, someone who is traveler. Yeah, ill person and a traveler. Allah in the Quran, He says, if you're ill or if you're on a journey, you don't have to fast in Ramadan. You can make those same days that you missed, you can make them up after Ramadan. If you're what? Yeah? Ill or traveler, yeah? Ill or traveler. So what does that mean? It means an illness which makes it difficult for you to fast. I'll give you an example of one illness that makes it difficult for you to fast. You tell me some other illnesses. Yeah? For example, someone has a flu, and in the daytime they have to take medicine 3 times a day or 4 times a day, however long. And they have to continue to drink fluids. Yeah? What happens? They don't have to fast. What do? They count the number of days they miss, make a note of it, and then after Ramadan, they make them up whenever they want, whenever it's easy for them. You give me another example of someone who's ill and they can't fast. Yeah. Diabetes. So someone's got very bad diabetes where they have to continuously take medicine, or eat something. Again, they're excused. Someone who has to take an asthma inhaler, so let's say they were running and they're out of breath and their breathing becomes very difficult and they can't control it and they have to take the inhaler. That person, fast breaks, doesn't matter, no problem, no sin, nothing. Just make that day up after Ramadan again. Yeah, just make it up. Yeah. Yeah. You forgot it's Ramadan. You forgot it's Ramadan. You ate, I don't know, burger meal. Then you remember after you finish, mashallah, alhamdulillah, alladhi at'amana wa saqana. Oh, it's fasting, subhanallah. That person just carries on fasting. Yeah. Everyone understand ill person? Any other ill? I see there's some people in our community who have illnesses, but they feel shy of not fasting. Especially elderly people. They think to themselves, oh, this is wrong for me. I've been fasting all my life and now all of a sudden I don't fast. No, this person should not fast. Because your health is more important to you in the eyes of Allah than the fast. Yeah? So your health is more important. Take care of your health. Some people, for example, they might have, dementia, very bad dementia, and they have to take medicine for it. Yeah, it's fine. Don't fast. Make the fast up later on. Okay, traveler. Now, if a person goes on a journey, and when we say a journey, we mean a journey that is like, for example, from Wolverhampton to London. Yeah, a long journey. A journey that's over 48 miles or so. This person does not have to fast. But that is only if they are on a journey before 4 a.m. They have to be on a journey before 4. If they're going to go on a journey at 9 a.m. in the morning, then they have to fast. You understand that? The traveler rule is because when Allah says in the Quran, ala safarin, they're on a journey, not planning a journey. Does that make sense? Everyone understand these two? Now look, if you're going to London, it's not very difficult to fast if you're going to London. London is just down the road. It takes you 2 hours to get there, and then 2 hours back. You're not really going to die of thirst or hunger. But if you do feel as though, I'm not sure, then don't fast. Yeah? Okay. Now, this is where, what if you break your fast in Ramadan? What happens? So I just mentioned to you one rule. If you break your fast, yeah? So, break your fast. Number 1 is you have to make up that 1 day fast. Make up. Okay, so you got to do that. If you missed 5 days, you got to make up 5 days. If you missed 10 days, you got to make up 10 days. If the way that you broke the fast was you ate something or drank something or you had intimacy deliberately, yeah, intentionally, and there's no valid reason. Like a valid reason could be you're extremely ill, you become extremely ill in the middle of the day, and now you have to drink water, otherwise you're going to collapse, or you have to take your asthma inhaler, or anything like that. That's a reason, that is. We're saying there's no reason. So if you ate something, or you drank something, or you had intimacy deliberately, and I'm going to add one more thing here, and something which is nourishing of the body or medicinal, then you have to do something which is known as kafara. And we call this kafara. Have you heard this word? Yeah, kafara basically means it's like a penalty. You know, like you go driving fast down the road and the camera flashes you. They send a letter to your house. Imagine that's kafara, that is. Yeah? So because you committed an act where you have broken one of Allah's laws, deliberately you've done it with no excuse, and you ate something that's nourishing or medicine, you have to do kafara. What is the kafara? Kafara is this. You have to fast for 2 months straight. That's the penalty, big time penalty. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you drive down the road and the police catch you, they take your license off you, give you 12 points or whatever it is. They give you 3 points, whatever. So this is a very serious one. If you can't fast for 2 months because it's too hard for you, then you got option number 2, which is you have to feed 60 poor people. 60. Each one you have to give them something that's worth about £3. Or £3, yeah? Yeah, what you give in the mosque for fitrana, you call it fitrana. Each 60, you got to give them 3. So how many is that? About 180, yeah? Some people say you should give £5 just in case it's a bit higher. Some say 3. So prices change depending on the prices in your community. Yeah, so I would say roughly about £3, between £3 to £5 for each person. Everyone understand this? When do you have to give this? If you deliberately ate something with no valid reason that nourishes your body or is medicinal. But if you have a valid reason, like you're ill and you have to take medicine, or you're feeling very, very weak and you're about to collapse and you have to eat something, sugar's gone very low, you're going to faint, then there's no kafara because there's no sin, no penalty, you haven't done anything wrong, you're saving your life. Does that make sense? Now this includes as well, if you're on a journey, traveler, and you broke your fast on a journey, you're also exempt from this penalty. You don't get the penalty. Yeah, one fast. 60 people. Yeah. No. You can do it in winter. Yeah, so winter's short, isn't it? Everyone understand this? Okay, khalas, we finished. Now, feeding 60 people any time in the year. You can do it any country you want as well. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the UK. Now, okay, I got a question for you guys. Imagine in Ramadan, someone picked up a felt-tip top and they swallowed it. What happens? Does their fast break? Fast breaks here because something's gone down. Do they have to give kafara? No kafara? No, because it's not something that normally nourishing, it's not medicinal, is it? Your fast breaks, but you haven't eaten something which is? Yeah, okay, another one. What if someone was to swear in Ramadan? Swearing is generally something Muslims shouldn't do. But in Ramadan, someone swore in Ramadan. Does their fast break? Why? Something, 1, 2, or 3 hasn't happened. Nothing's gone down, has it? Okay, someone backbites someone. Hey, it's haram to backbite. It's not going to break your fast. Someone didn't do Taraweeh, or didn't pray their 5 times namaz, salat. Does it affect their fast? No, it's still got to fast. Does that make sense? Everyone understand this? Okay. Okay, another question for you guys. Okay, vomit. Vomit break your fast? No, because nothing. But in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever deliberately makes themselves vomit, gags themselves. He said the fast breaks. Not because you're something going in, it's because you're deliberately making your body weak. That's the only one case. Otherwise, vomit does not break your fast. Yeah. Does going toilet break your fast? No. Yeah. Okay. See if we've got another question for you guys. Does swallowing one's saliva break your fast? Does going swimming break your fast? Or if you drink the water, and even then, it's going to be accidental, isn't it? So do you have to give kafara? No, because normally people don't like drinking chlorine water, yeah? Okay. Does taking a shower break your fast? What if there's steam in the shower? Because you're not deliberately inhaling it, are you? It's just there. You're not doing like, yeah, doing that. No problem. It's like in the kitchen. If you're in the kitchen, you're cooking food, all steam. Okay. Or if someone has a wet dream, you know what wet dream is? Those who are young, don't worry, you'll find out later. Those who are adults, you know. If you have a wet dream, does your fast break? No, because nothing has been done deliberately. Remember, in your sleep, anything happens in your sleep. Okay. Are you using deodorant? Does it break your fast? As long as you don't put it in your mouth and start inhaling it. Yeah? Okay. Khalas. Okay, now there's obviously no women here, but maybe there's women watching online. So if a woman is, in Ramadan, if a woman is fasting and she starts her menstruation, she's not allowed to fast. Yeah, she's banned from fasting. And the wisdom behind this, ulama say, wisdom is because blood is coming out of her body. It weakens her body. So it's best for her that she doesn't fast. So therefore, she's not allowed to fast. What did she do? Makes her fasting. And she's allowed to eat at home. So if you've got women folk at home, your mums or your sisters or your daughters, and you see them eating in Ramadan, you say, Astaghfirullah. Yeah, fear Allah, look. Oh, chill out. They've got the excuse. Allah has given them the excuse. They're allowed to. What do? They make up those days after Ramadan. Okay. Khalas. Any other question? Yeah. Chewing gum. See, chewing gum contains ingredients, don't they? That mix with your saliva, small little particles. Yeah? That would break your fast. But let's say, for example, you were chewing the top of a pen. You know, some people that chew tops of pens, I don't know why. Or some people have like, toothpick in their mouth. Yeah? As long as you don't swallow it, your fast won't break. Even then, ulama say there's no need for it. You're just putting your fast at risk. Just stay away from it. But if you've got a bad habit of doing this kind of biting your nails, stuff like that, then try to quit it in Ramadan. Yeah? Yeah. 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 Very good. Okay, so yeah, so if the person, remember we said, if a person vomits and he feels very, very weak, what does he fall under? Ill person, yeah? If he's very, very weak and he has to drink, then he won't, but he still has to make that day up after Ramadan. Any other question? Yeah. If a person deliberately does not fast because maybe they're neglecting Allah's laws, like some people deliberately don't pray salat, the rule is that they have to make up those days later on. And if they eat in the day, they don't have to do kafara because they didn't start the fast. Because they didn't start it, it's like if someone doesn't drive a car, they can't get penalty for speeding in it. It's like that. Yeah. 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 Okay, so would looking at a woman break your fast? Why wouldn't it break the fast? Because nothing's going in the body. Yeah. Good. So remember we said if a person makes the intention that they're going to break their fast, so they're thinking in their head, making a whole plan of how they're going to eat the roast chicken. Yeah? Does their fast break? No, why? Nothing's gone down. Easy rule, yeah? Fasting very easy, mashallah. Okay. Yeah. Good question. So if a person is fasting in Ramadan, alhamdulillah, yeah, they have to observe the fast. If a person out of negligence, like they haven't been taught about Ramadan or they haven't been taught about its importance, yeah, so they don't fast in Ramadan, that person has to make up all of the Ramadans they miss later on. Yeah, does that make sense? Because in the Quran Allah says, Whoever misses the fast, whoever is ill. So the ulama say included in this is someone who is negligent of Allah's laws. Okay, any other? Yeah. Is that in the same Ramadan? Yeah. So the rule is this. So this is according to the ulama of the school of Hanafi thoughts. They say in the same Ramadan, if you commit the crime multiple times, one penalty suffices all. Yeah, it's like sajda sahu. If you make lots of mistakes in your salat, one sajda sahu for all of them. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. If you pass away. If you pass away, then the Prophet ﷺ said amongst them, he said, he counted this amongst the shaheed. So it's hoped. And look, let me explain something to you. Allah is the judge, isn't He? If a person has been living their life very, very bad, hurting their parents and hurting their family and friends and doing bad things on the side, stealing from people, mugging people, and they die in Ramadan, Allah is still going to judge them for everything that they've done because they've hurt other people. So you always have to remember, when you hear this hadith about a person becoming shaheed of dying on Friday or in Ramadan or in Hajj, whatever, that is basically Allah is saying, as long as they haven't hurt anyone, because there was a man who actually died in a battle, and the Sahaba said, this guy's going Jannah. He said, no, he's not. He owed people money. This guy, he did things to people. يُغْفَرُ لِلشَّهِيدِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا الدَّيْنِ. This guy, he owed people money, but he wasn't bothered to give it back to them. So this is why we have to be careful. If we fast Ramadan, it doesn't mean, first class ticket to Jannah al-Firdaus. That's just, we hope Allah is going to accept our actions and forgive us. Any other question? Blood test. Okay, so blood test, good question. What happens? Blood is taken out, they put it back in again. Nothing goes back in, and then fast doesn't break. Does that make sense? And even if something does go back in, remember we said about the two opinions. Yeah, I take the opinion that it wouldn't break. Yeah. And the other thing is that a lot of women have this question about smear test. Smear test, yeah? In the private parts they have test done. So according to Mufti Usmani, Mufti Usmani's brother passed away, he said smear tests do not break the fast. Yeah. It's like the similar issue with the ear drops issue. Similar to that. Yeah. Now, I asked some doctors about this. Maybe Dr. Saab can help as well. So nose spray, if the spray goes down into the throat, then the fast breaks. But if the spray just stays around the nasal cavity, then the fast doesn't break. Yeah. Yes. If you faint, anything that someone does to you does not break your fast. Yeah. If you faint, anything. So don't do this, deliberately faint so your mom can put food in your mouth and then slaps your face and you wake up. Anything else? Yeah. Okay, good question. So why do we fast? Why do we fast in Ramadan? The reason is, first of all, because Allah in the Quran tells us. That's the first thing. Because Allah tells us in the Quran. So we follow what Allah says. And because Ramadan is a lunar month. Lunar. So lunar means it follows the moon. So following the moon basically means that wherever the moon cycle occurs. So that's why we're used to the sun's calendar, aren't we? That's why you have to observe Ramadan has to be done through the moon. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so look, i'tikaf, we didn't talk about i'tikaf today, but I'll answer the question. I'tikaf, there's two types of i'tikaf you can do. You can do what we call the sunnah i'tikaf, which starts from the 21st of Ramadan and it finishes the night before Eid. Yeah, and it starts from Maghrib to Maghrib. Yeah, this is called the Sunnah Itikaf. If you want to do the Sunnah one, you have to do all those days. Nafal Itikaf is you can do as many days as you like. Yeah, so many days, you want to stay there for 1 day, 2 days, fine. No problem. Yeah. So colonoscopy, again, remember, if something goes in number 3, if anything medicinal or anything goes inside, it breaks the fast. And non-medicinal is fine. Yeah. Yeah, because the idea is if something goes into your stomach and can be taken out, it doesn't break your fast because it hasn't gone down technically. Yeah. So don't like put some chicken on your string and put it down your throat and then take it out and then, yeah. What was the question? Good question. So look, the Prophet ﷺ said, this ummah will always be on khair so long as they break their fast as soon as possible. Yeah. And the idea is, just like you want to obey Allah in starting your fast, you want to obey Allah completing your fast as well. Does that make sense? If you didn't break your fast at Maghrib, don't worry, no sin. Sometimes you might be driving a car, you've got no food around, and then you start taking your beard out and eating your beard. Yeah, no, don't do that, my brother. Yeah, but get to your place, then break your fast over there, no problem. Yeah. But the quicker we do it, the better it is. Alas, questions finished? Later, inshallah. Any yes? Yeah, so if you break your fast, when we said 5:59, yeah, your fast will break. Yeah. Yes, you answered your question. What benefits does it give to your body? It obviously, it cleans out your system. The main thing is taqwa. Yeah, you become more conscious of the laws of Allah. That's it. Khalas, jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much, guys. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلق محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وإياكم